It does appear from the New York Times reporting that after his plea deal, Epstein got smarter and started sticking to girls who were of age, and mostly Russians or Eastern Europeans. And I have to tell you, it's a very interesting question, because obviously that's a totally different kettle of fish than a 14-year-old girl, because now you're an adult in the eyes of the law. And there's no question of consent, really. I mean, you're capable of consenting when you are 19 years old, but you are still capable of being sex trafficked. I mean, the whole case against P. Diddy revolved around whether he had sex trafficked Cassie and other of his girlfriends by strong-arming them into sex with these sex workers. Ultimately, the jury did not find him guilty of that. But we had a whole prosecution, the implicit, acceptance of which was it can be done to an adult woman who's even in a love relationship with the defendant. I mean, it can be done. So it's not really an answer to whether Jeffrey Epstein was a sex trafficker to say all of his alleged victims were of age when he was having whatever relationship he was having with them. It's a more complex issue than that legally. But I do think we need to get into this with that right mindset. The young teen thing, according to the New York Times, which has had a whole team going through all these documents, they say appears to have stopped after he got arrested and struck that initial plea deal in 2008. Then he goes forward with the of-age Russians and Eastern Europeans. And now there is a question about whether they were serially sex trafficked by Epstein to himself and to his friends. And I have to say, there's a lot of evidence of that in there. Now, were they all sex trafficked victims, or were some just gold diggers? That's also possible. I mean, the difference between a gold digger and a sex trafficking victim is force, coercion. A gold digger is not there by coercion. She wants his dough, so she gives it up. I know a lot of women who make that same choice. I've known throughout my adult life a lot of women who decide to make that same choice. They don't marry for love. They marry for dough.